we have, what is a Rutherford model of the atom? So this is more of a conceptual question, and this is based on what even Rutherford was testing. So what he did to find his model, right? Imagine this. He had a gold, well not, yeah, he had like a gold plated sheet, all right? And what he'd do is use like a tiny little laser, and I am just ad-libbing a bit here, but he uses a tiny little laser, and he would, in a sense, shine it through and try to note, and he would choose to select different points, but in a sense he would try to note the how much it refracted, or like how much like it was changing direction. So the gold sheet was very thin, and the goal, in a sense, what he was trying to do was to see if he could pinpoint if there was spots to where there was a great change in like because like the gold, he kept shining lights in different spots, and he noticed that they would change directions. And the goal was to see where there was great change based on where he was shining it. And based on that, okay, he found that there were certain spots to where that beam would be refracted by quite a bit, but then kind of around it, you could almost shine through it, almost in a sense, or you would reflect off very tiny little things. So that's how he was able to develop the theory that we have a nice center nucleus with then smaller things orbiting around it. And then, you know, next to that would be like another gold atom with the same thing. So based on like the fact that he was shining the light, it would depending on how he move it, he could have shined it like right here, and it could have gone straight through, or he could shine it here and reflect it off, or shine it here and reflect it off. Just things like that, to where it's like, okay, now I'm starting to visualize that there is a concentrated spot in certain areas to where my beam is being heavily reflected off of it. Okay, so that's how he came up with the idea. And the important thing here to note for the Rutherford model is that, yes, exactly, there is a larger concentrated nucleus surrounded by smaller tiny particles floating about of it. And that is how we have the Rutherford models. Okay. So he was the gold foil experiment, exactly. He was shooting some particles through, and then he realized like there was a dense core in there. So that is how he found that, and this would be an example of the Rutherford model of the atom. But the key thing here to understand is how he got his model, which is through that gold foil experiment. Because there are some models that look quite similar, like the Bohr model and all that stuff, which do look very similar, but have each of their differences based on how they came about it. So this is correct nonetheless. Let's move on to question number 9.